Why aren't the kids excelling in math?
What is the best way to get the kids to read more?
How can I get them to love math?
How can I get them to pay attention?
Should we have more windows?
Is my school doing all it can to help my student?
What do my kids want to learn?
Are the kids getting the most out of their classes?
Is my classroom the best place to teach this subject?
How can I create more mentoring opportunities?
Are test scores the best way to measure learning?
How are their social relationships affecting the learning in the classroom?
How can I get them to focus?
Why don't they love science?
How do we define achievement? We had a lot of questions, and we didn't have the answers we were looking for, but we knew we had to create a better model for kids. So what we decided was to look at what would be the best learning environment for our students and how we could meet their individual needs. To start answering those questions, what we knew was that what we had been doing wasn't meeting the needs of all our learners. So our first idea was to design a model that met the needs of all our students. It included individualization, choice, and a safe environment where everyone had mutual respect and created a community. We also believed in the concept that learning could and can occur anywhere. Therefore, the confines of the old classroom were constricting our opportunities to meet the needs of those students. So to begin that process, we heavily invested time in the concept of design.
Design was very instrumental in putting together the Hartland School of Community Learning because we knew that kids like to work under things, they like to work in high spaces, they don't like to sit in a desk in a chair. And so we talked about design, we talked about the lighting, we did a lot of research on it and came up with this great space.
Think about where you work. Do you work at your kitchen table? Do you work at your couch? Do you go downstairs or to a quiet place in your house to finish things that you need to do? Our students needed the flexibility to either be around their peers or to find that quiet, cozy spot to work alone. Therefore, the environment we created had to meet their needs. It had to have places they could work together, places they could work alone. It had to have soft furniture, hard furniture. Some students like to stand, some people like to sit. We even have places where kids lay down when they have something they need to finish. One of the things we knew about the traditional classroom was it didn't meet the needs of all our learners. Therefore, providing an opportunity for kids to learn in a place that they feel comfortable, to learn from opportunities outside of the classroom, to be involved in the community, and to engage in learning on an even larger global scale, provided us with a wide range of opportunities to meet those individual goals.
It's easier for me to be able to go and discover it on my own, not have someone tell me.
Apart from the physical structure, which was very open, so it wasn't a classroom setup where you were sitting in rows of benches or tables or such. It was very open, very flexible. I think it was also the energy and the excitement level of the teachers.
Learners are being prepared for a world that we can't physically see and touch, but certainly doesn't look like a traditional classroom.
The instruction was direct instruction, and we wanted the teacher to be more of a facilitator. And we did a lot of research on that, and we talked to a lot of kids and asked them what they needed.
In the regular school, the traditional school, you don't get any choice. They just tell you have to do that by this time.
Try to make it a little more open and try to let the kids learn at their own pace. Don't let everybody learns the same thing, because if somebody knows this already and they're really good and somebody doesn't, that's a loss of learning for the person that does know it.
Here I see them doing things that are more individual and creative and maybe working on things that they need to work on rather than what's best for everybody.
Like you can learn at your own pace, and you don't get rushed. Like,
I don't want to sound like my mom, but I blossomed, she said, and I really like learning now, and I like to go to school.
With 50 students in our charter environment, we decided to create what we called a facilitation team. The facilitation team consisted of 2 regular ed teachers, a special education teacher, and a learning assistant who was a certified teacher but worked in our environment for 5 hours a day. The combined synergistic effect of these 4 teachers was to meet the needs of all 50 students, therefore creating a place where each child's individual needs could be met and supported through consistent conferencing and individual instruction.
When I asked my daughter this morning, what do you think I should talk about for this interview, I said, what is the best thing about your school? And she said, oh, Mom, it's the technology and how technology has helped me learn and expanded what I can learn.
It's amazing when he goes off to these different websites and he learns off of them versus, a typical kid who would just go play at a website.
I was under the understanding that they would have their own laptops and be able to use the technology and do their homework anytime, anywhere, which is important for me as a single parent, that no matter where I have to take her or drag her, she can always do her homework, so that's been very helpful.
The use of technology just supports learning. We consider it a tool. Kids have consistent online access, the ability to take their computers home with them, and can interact with teachers from anywhere at any time.
The other thing I wanted to say about the community is that building relationships and connections, we know, also helps with that internal motivation, and not just inside the 4 walls of the classroom, but going outside into the bigger community of Hartland.
Every learner comes to us unique. They come with different background, they come with different life experiences, they come with different strengths and challenges and different interests. And when we typically put them in the classroom, what we do is blanket them with the same materials and the same interventions and the same opportunities.
Because it's just younger minds that come together and work as one, and I think that's really important. I think all schools should have that.
It's very much community. They all work together, they all help each other.
I think that creating that safe environment is what I notice the most when you walk in there, is that the kids are more willing to take risks as far as participating because they feel supported by everybody else.
Not only do they feel supported, but they use each other as resources, regardless of age or grade level.
We had to write a proposal and we shared it in front of the school board, and we were all so nervous, and we got it passed right away.
Well, my daughter is not really confident in math all the time, and she was home from school one day sick, and she was kind of like in her head, I could tell she was trying to figure out something, and I asked her what was going on, and she was explaining to me she was trying to figure out how much money she had lost for the day. And they have a class economy where they have Bailey bucks, and they're paid a salary every week, and a portion of it goes into, paying taxes. And then she was explaining to me that she had to choose a health insurance plan, A or B, and by going down to the health room, she had to pay a copay, and she lost a half a day's wage. In one respect, it was a very creative way for her to learn to do math in her head and be creative. In another respect, it was interesting to see she was being able to apply making money and what her dad and I do and what we discuss in the real world, and understanding the responsibility of your actions.
Being successful is just that feeling that you accomplished something that you never thought you'd be able to accomplish. And that is like one of the best feelings I have ever felt in my life.
She is writing and reading more than ever, and she already was a great writer and reader. Math has gotten better, like I said, I think because she gave herself a goal, an academic goal of making math fun.
She tested below average on reading. They sat down with her, they showed her the graph, they showed her what average is. They showed her where her number was. They said, oh, this is where you are in reading, and this is where most of the kids in the United States are in reading, and you're below that, and you need to improve your reading, and we are going to help you do that. And now they just tested again at the end of the year, and now she's above the average on the graph, and she is so happy and so proud of herself. But what makes me the happiest is that she took responsibility and she did it, and the teachers helped her with that, rather than, well, she's a below average reader, that's what she is. But because I think that's where we were more in a traditional school, our experience was there wasn't a problem with where she was, that the teachers were accepting of that level.
Kids take ownership, they're excited, and it's pretty exciting to see who they become once they're given all those opportunities.
The Hartland School of Community Learning has taken respected research on how people learn and fused it with research on teaching and learning for the 21st century to create a powerful classroom model. Students are fully engaged, fully aware of their own unique patterns of learning, and fully invested in purposeful and relevant learning. Students grow to understand how they best attain and retain knowledge, and they become their own best advocates. They truly respect the process of learning while taking well-earned pride in the products of their learning.
Feeling like I have an impact and feeling like I can do whatever I want if I put my mind to it.